like, hey, I can make all this money, but when you go and put it all there, you're going to lose hard.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Then, Jason, one more thing, and it's related. You see, one out of five, one of the six guests that come to this podcast, 5 steps how to make the first million, they are property entrepreneur, right? And I always want to raise this. My first business was in property. We managed to sell over 5 million. But I don't want people to have the wrong impression, our audience, yes, that, hey, because out of five or one out of six people that come to Harry's podcast, they are property investors and property entrepreneurs. It's easy to become a multimillionaire in real estate. I think that is a good vehicle to make million or to become a millionaire in real estate. Yes. However, um, it comes with, again, you need to develop the skill. Being an entrepreneur is a skill. The more you practice, the better you become. Being a real estate investor is a skill. The more you practice, the better you become. Because, hey, when you get hit in real estate, is is always expensive. You see, the mistake, you have another business, you make a mistake, well, you lose a little bit of money. When you make a mistake in real estate, it's never a small money. 50,000, 60,000, 100,000, millions. That's how it goes when it goes wrong. So what message do you have for the real estate, or for people that want to be made the first million, that want to become an entrepreneur, that want to use real estate as the first vehicle to make the first million and to start the career as an entrepreneur? That's actually how you started. This is actually how I started. But what can we share with them? The reality of the real estate business. Yeah, you can become a millionaire. Is one of the best and most powerful vehicles out there to reach that goal. If you like it, if you're passionate about. Uh, However, what are the bad things, or what are the about the real estate that nobody talks about? And so everyone is aware that this is not a shiny object, that we all can become millionaires really easy. You do have to do the hard work. You need to make time the due diligence. You need to have the right coach. You need to dive into this with things and be prepared, because eventually, somehow, something will go wrong, and you need to have the strength to get back up again. If you have to pay the people, you have to pay the people like you did.
So one of the things I tell people is start small as you're learning. Don't go out and buy it and spend, like, if you have a nest egg that you're like, hey, I got this, I can go do it. Go buy one that you can learn on. And if you lose on it, you're okay. I started flipping properties in the very beginning, and I had a mentor who helped me, and he says, do you want me to just teach you how to do this, or do you want to do it together? And I said, well, let's just partner and do it together. So for a long time, we partnered, and we partnered all the way up till we had 246 units. But he'd been doing this his whole life, and he mentored me, and we went from flipping homes, started one, then we go two, and then the last year that we flipped homes, we did 35 homes in 1 year. We flipped them. And then we started saying, well,
35 homes in 1 year.
35 homes a year.
That's very impressive.
And then we said, if we can do this, we can take it to apartments or into a multifamily. And you know what? So I did multifamily. But we learned, I started small, even though my partner, my mentor, he had his fortune already made. Once we had done that, now what I'm doing with my money that I'm taking from my business, I don't want to put it into single family. I don't want to put it into multifamily, because I'm sick of being the landlord and fixing toilets and all that stuff. I put it into commercial properties. So right now I have commercial retail strips, storage units, and these flex spaces. That's where I'm headed with mine. But I tell people, you can't start.
Parking spaces are good also, Jason, right?
Yeah, flex space is great right now.
Parking, yeah, I hear, yeah. Oh, wow.
But The thing
How you call it
is
this one, Jason? Flip spaces? What that means?
flex space. So
Ah,
if I just built a 12,000 square foot building that's basically warehouse that can be divided into 2,000 up to 12,000 square feet, and people can choose, and you can use it for retail, you can use it for production, you can use it for whatever. But I didn't start there. I started small. So start small, learn the game,
100%.
and don't get greedy, because that's where you like, hey, I can make all this money, but when you go and put it all there, you're gonna lose hard. At least that's my experience. Not everybody does. I've seen people just win and don't ever seem to lose, but I don't see their losses. I just see all the wins. So
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing as well. Everybody talk about the wins.
yes.
Nobody never talk about one.
But I want to point something out, Harry. Before I even did real estate, I had owned a couple other businesses, and I had learned I had financial literacy before that. You know, I'm into always reading and growing, whether it's financial. I remember when I was trying to learn about multifamily, what did I do? I went and bought these books, and they showed me these things, and I built these complicated spreadsheets to figure cap rates and all the different things and that go into owning and evaluating a deal. And I didn't just take their spreadsheet. I'm like, no, I want to understand this. So I reverse engineered it so I could understand how all the numbers worked versus just putting it in somebody's spreadsheet and say, okay, well, here's your metrics to measure it on. So back to starting small, understand the financial literacy behind it. Don't just do it because somebody says, hey, you can make $1 million, or there's a new course. There's always courses. I just saw it today in my Facebook feed, somebody locally teaching somebody. I'm not saying they're bad. You need to invest in these courses, but make sure you understand them before you just go do.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.